July 4th, 1776, one of the most significant days in American history. On this day, the colonies proclaimed their freedom. However, this declaration was made against the backdrop of a war that had already begun. Victory was not easy. Even after that day, battles continued for several years, and the Revolutionary War was once on the brink of defeat. But what if the Navy SEAL team was sent by the United States into the past to secure and hasten victory? Could the Sea Lions, serving under the command of George Washington, change the course of American history? This time we will not choose a specific date for their arrival. Instead, let's consider how a team of Navy SEALs could be used most effectively to secure George Washington's victory. Let's start with what caused the Revolutionary War. Like in most conflicts, money played an important role. After the Franco-Indian War, Britain seized most of New France in North America. The French were expelled. Thus, Britain acquired more lands but also significantly increased its debts. The maintenance of forts and troops in this territory required significant expenses. The British tried to stop settlers from moving west and asked the colonies to help pay for defense. As a result, Parliament approved new taxes and trade regulations. The Sugar Act, the Stamp Act, the Tea Act. The colonists responded with protest. No taxation without representation, leading to widespread protests and boycotts. The protests intensified, peaking during the Boston Tea Party when colonists dumped 342 chests of tea into Boston Harbor, equivalent to about $1,700,000 today. Britain responded with harsh new laws and an increase in troop numbers. Trust was undermined. By April 1775, battles had already begun in Lexington and Concord. The Second Continental Congress convened and appointed George Washington as the head of the new Continental Army. In July of 1776, Congress formally declared a break, presenting the Declaration of Independence. Essentially, its message was this: we have the right to govern ourselves. Now, with the context of the Revolutionary War in mind, let's return to our Sea Lions. The U.S. Navy SEALs are considered one of the most capable special units in the world. During the Cold War and afterwards, they were often compared to Soviet and then Russian special forces. Estimates vary, but the training of an average U.S. soldier is usually valued at around $36,000. While the training of a Sea Lion from candidate to operator can cost up to $2 million, the annual maintenance costs are sometimes estimated close to $1 million per operator. This makes Sea Lions some of the most expensive troops in the world. And, to be honest, for this money, you get a high level of qualification. Sea Lions are usually organized into squads of about 16 operators, which then split into smaller groups. Based on this, the Continental Forces would receive a 4-member team, highly skilled and equipped with modern equipment. Their arsenal would include night vision and thermal imaging devices, satellite communication equipment, first aid kits, and various small items tailored for a specific mission. Since the only companions in the sky at that time would be unidentified flying objects, this set would be useless. However, our Sea Lions could still benefit from standard long-distance communication equipment. All these night vision devices and thermal imagers require a lot of energy, so spare batteries become a priority, plus a small solar charger for recharging them. With modern portable solar kits used by special units, our Navy SEALs could keep their equipment operational for a long time. On one side, we have 4 Sea Lions along with colonists, French and Spanish forces, and local volunteers. On the other side, King George's army with good equipment, loyalists, and surprisingly, some Native Americans who believed Britain's promise to protect their lands. The British faced difficulties with guerrilla tactics and the complex, unfamiliar terrain. In the 17th years of the 18th century, there were few large cities. Most of America was covered with forests and fields. The British often had to move troops through dense forests to reach their goals, creating ideal conditions for our soldiers' actions. Even 4 Sea Lions could deliver a serious blow. With 4 16mm rifles, 1 40mm grenade launcher, and Mk-48 machine guns, they could wield as much firepower as a significant part of any British unit. They could shoot from a distance greater than the range of muskets and quickly disrupt the column. A brief ambush, 2 M48 machine guns opening fire while the others launched grenades, could crush the marching force. Then the team could disappear into the forest before the enemy could organize a counterattack. There was also the possibility of eliminating key targets from a distance. A Navy SEAL sniper with a Macmillan Tax 338 rifle could fire from over 1,600 meters. If the U.S. wanted to get creative, they could even send an anti-material .50 caliber rifle with 4 SEALs. Even if there were absolutely no objectives requiring a sniper rifle of that caliber, the sight of British officers falling with torn chests and heads from a distance of over a mile would be deeply terrifying and demoralizing to enemy troops. With the help of this sniper, they could easily eliminate high-ranking British officers, which would significantly destabilize enemy units and could change the course of the war. Watching sea lions set ambushes with machine guns and grenade launchers would be thrilling, but it's not the most sensible way to use them. A more prudent approach is stealth. Our team of time travelers could achieve much greater results by avoiding open battles, infiltrating, sabotaging key targets, and leaving without firing a shot. One of the biggest challenges for the revolution was the blockade of American ports by Britain. This suffocated the economy, which was already struggling to finance an expensive war, and hindered the delivery of vital French and Spanish supplies, forcing them to take long detours. These delays and losses often left the patriotic forces without enough weapons, gunpowder, and everything necessary, making them poorly equipped and fewer in number compared to the British troops. Like their animal counterparts, seals adore water, and sinking a large, highly valued ship is a true dream for them. After all, destroying underwater obstacles is their main skill. With the help of a snail mine, other charges, and small underwater scooters, the team could stealthily approach the British ships anchored, attach explosives to the hull, set timers, and disappear before anyone noticed them. Then they returned to the shore and observed the events from a distance. The sinking of a highly valued warship would be a more significant blow to British efforts in the war than eliminating enemy commanders or shooting at redcoats with modern machine guns, as it would affect the morale of the sailors and the war itself. When France entered the war in 1778, the Royal Navy found itself in a strategic deadlock. It could no longer concentrate its fleet solely on North America. French squadrons had already begun attacking key British trade routes in the Caribbean. The surrender of Lord Charles Cornwallis at Yorktown in October 1781 is considered a turning point. This blow effectively ended Britain's attempts to suppress the uprising and maintain the colonies. Our fighters could hasten this inevitable end by targeting British warships at the beginning of the war and systematically sinking them one by one. The only time British ships are safe is when they are at sea and moving, but they cannot stay away for long, as they need to return to replenish their supplies. This will be the right moment for our squad to strike again. Sinking several large or escort ships would deal a harsh military and economic blow to the British Maritime Empire. This would also give patriotic ports access to the friendly movement. Moreover, it would pull France into the conflict earlier and on a larger scale, strengthening the uprising and reducing Britain's influence. Ultimately, our four soldiers did not need to win the entire war. They just needed to strike at the most vulnerable points.